Breakfast with KXVU.
Trickstar Radio.
38 minutes past 9 here on Trickstar Radio. We're inside the building. It's a busy studio this morning, and I'm absolutely loving it. We've got a man like Jampak in the building. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm loving it. Danny Jack is in the building as well.
Inside.
Good to see. So we're here. Obviously, the main reason you're here today was obviously to talk about the new label project, which has been sort of bubbling away for a few months now behind the scenes. So what's the label called, first of all?
The label's called Packed Out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what's the reasoning behind the name?
It's sort of like a spin-off on my name. Almost.
Oh, as in Jampak. Okay, cool.
Packed Out. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Obviously as well, Packed Out can represent a lot of things.
Yeah.
Mainly relation to events.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's quite mad. This can't be a good thing. When I hear the phrase "packed out" now, I think of FIFA. That's the first thing I think of when I hear.
Yeah. Well, what's on FIFA?
You get packs on Ultimate Team, don't you? And everyone does their YouTube series as packed out. They're all called packed out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I call it.
So maybe I can get some of their traffic there.
Yeah. Just get in contact with a few YouTubers and put the instrumentals in the background.
Yeah, that's what we got to do, man.
There we go. That's what
Does
I'm talking
the
about.
name Packed Out as well also relate to the content that you have?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, we're gonna have, the YouTube channel, releases, in the way of like compilations and the rest of it, man. So yeah.
So content-wise, when we're looking at it, is it going to be primarily like, because you're coming at it from a DJ sort of angle when you're putting this together?
Yeah.
When you're putting like the sort of like the catalog together, shall we say? Like, are you going primarily for sort of instrumental stuff, or are you going for vocal stuff as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna be mixing it up. To be honest, I'm gonna try and get an even split. It's just gonna be music that I like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's gonna have some instrumentals. I'm gonna try and push the producers quite hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so there's gonna be producers that are a bit under the radar almost that
Nice.
I'm gonna be working with quite
Are
closely.
there going to be a lot of ones that you've kind of had like in the inbox where you've like had stuff sent over and then
yeah, for sure, man. Like there's a lot of producers I've got good relationships with, man, that I've known for a while, and even in like the beginning stages of their career, like they would send me music and then I'll just start playing it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's fresh, and as a DJ, you've always got to be ahead of the curve, innit?
100%, especially in grime, because I feel there's a little bit of a tendency in grime for people to kind of fall into kind of sonic patterns. You know what I mean? People, there'll be like a trend that kicks up, and then everyone will do something very similar to that for a while. So staying ahead of what the patterns are going to be is very important. What kind of gave you like the kickstart to go right? I'm going to start the label now. Like, has it been something you wanted to do for a while?
To be honest with you, a few people did mention it to me, but once I went on Represent Radio with P Money, and he was kind of saying like, why don't you just have a label? Like you push all this music on radio. Why don't you have a label and release? I was like, you know what, makes sense. And I'm an ambitious person anyway, and I want to do things for the genre. Do you know what I mean? So I suppose that's the thinking behind it, man.
So it's like the music's there anyway. We may as well take it to the next level.
Exactly.
We may as well put a bit of a stamp on it and push it as much.
Yeah, rather than just playing it on radio, like when they're on radio.
Yeah.
Let's push it properly. Do you know what I mean?
So like artist wise, like have you got like a list of people you already want to get involved, or is it like a thing of you're now accepting submissions for the future kind of thing?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be working with some cold artists, but like I say, I'm covering the I'm going to be working with artists like Big Zuu, and then I'm going to be working with artists like Reese West, and then I'm going to be working with artists like Crafty or Cruz Leon, who people might not know too much about, because these guys, as good as they are, like I'm talking like artists like Cruz Leon, they don't think about music or business in the same way that maybe I might. So I can bring something to them, and they can bring their artistry, and we can make it just grow a bit better. From that,
everyone kind of benefits off,
exactly,
off bouncing off each other. Definitely, man. I think that idea of kind of like mixing and matching as well with like a roster kind of thing, having like the sort of heavyweight names on there, and and having like the relationship with the heavyweight names, but also having the kind of the newcomers, the kind of less exposed sort of artists on there as well. From that, you then tend to end up with what balances out as a very solid roster a lot of the time.
Exactly.
Definitely, man.
Exactly.
I'm excited to see how it's all coming together. So, have you got like a date for the first release set, or or is it all still up in the air?
Yeah, the first release is coming out 31st of January.
Oh wow! So we're getting this one a week ahead.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
I mean, this one just tore down Croatia Outlook Festival, man. It's a hard tune. It's wicked. Felix Dubs, serious producer.
Talk me through Felix and how long have you known Felix Dubs?
Yeah, like pretty much more or less from the beginning of going on Mode FM. In 2015, he done a guest mix for me in 2015. But the thing with Felix is his sound isn't grime.
Okay.
Per se, it's a little bit trappy.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I feel we're at a point now where everything is kind of merging anyway.
Yeah. But I'm, you know what? Yeah, I'm almost like a bit of a grime purist.
Okay.
So sometimes I do turn my nose up sometimes at things that I think, is that going towards that side? Is it in the grime box? Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to expand it, but at the same time, I got a style which I like, and I suppose growing up in it as well, it's kind of imprinted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean again that kind of that kind of sound of that sort of like classic grime sound. Like there are certain elements of a sort of like classic grime sound which are so kind of embedded, and like there's a level of like nostalgia. Like for me, for instance, it'd be a Da Vinci instrumental, like an original sounding Da Vinci instrumental.
Yeah.
That sort of sound hits me, and it's very difficult to replicate that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So if you were to like just pick an artist out of the hat that you would like to work with that you haven't spoken to yet, who would it be?
Oh,
I'm here throwing the curveball questions this morning.
Oh, I have not thought. I suppose D-double-E.
Okay.
D-double. Yeah, D-double, man, every time. But whether that's going to happen or not is a different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I could choose, Wiley.
Yeah, Wiley.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We're going to jump into this one then. This one is Lockjaw by Felix Dubs. Exclusive. We've got this one a week early. Thank you, Jampak, for bringing this one through. That's what we like to see here on The Breakfast Show. Just gone 9:45 here on Trickstar Radio. Jampak is in the building, as is Danny Jack. The app is available now via all stores. Make sure you go and grab it as we jump into this one. Keep it locked.
Waking up Brighton.
Breakfast with KXVU.